I'm David Walker. I'm a former chairman of the Birmingham Youth Assistance General Citizens Committee and a former president of the Birmingham Optimists. For a number of years now, in the past, both organizations had this event on their own. About 7 years ago, we decided that it would be a good idea to pool it since we're drawing from the same group of kids. So this is the 7th annual Birmingham Youth Assistance Breakfast, which is put on by both organizations. I'd like to welcome you all today and thank you very much for coming to honor these outstanding young people. The first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce Jack Fry, who is the current president of the Birmingham Optimists. He's going to tell you a little bit about the Optimist Club that meets here in the community house and what we do in that regard. Jack?
Tall guy. Welcome, everybody. This is a wonderful event. For 100 years, the Michigan Optimists, well, for 80 of them, have been operating, doing this kind of work. So it's great to have the youth and service people here. And thank you for attending. And the Optimists have been hanging around for 100 years. So this group has been hanging around for 7. That's pretty darn good. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about and we're late, so but the Optimists sponsor things like an essay contest and oratorical for the kids in high school, Optimist speech and hearing impaired, which comes up next Wednesday, hearing impaired people. Respect for Law Day, I mean, we go on and on, but anyway, it's a great organization, you ought to check us out. I don't want to take up too much time, Dave.
That's fine, Jack. Whatever you want.
So anyway, thank you again for coming. We got some great young people here. My kids, I had 4 kids, I got 16 grandchildren. I've had 2 grandchildren win awards. My kids didn't. But they're good kids. Anyway, thanks for coming, everybody, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
The Birmingham Optimists meet here in the community house at 8:30 every Wednesday morning. If you'd like to come in and have breakfast and see what they do, we'd be more than happy to have you join us. At this time, I'd like to bring up Shelley Taub, who's going to she's the vice chairman of the General Citizens Committee for Birmingham Youth Assistance, which is the other organization that's participating in this matter. She's going to tell you a little bit about what we do in that regard.
First off, welcome. We're so happy that you're here. Birmingham Youth Assistance has been in existence for over 50 years, and we support children and we support families. And we do it through a number of events. We have a dog show. We just had that last month, last month rather. We have something called Touch a Truck. We have something called Breakfast with Santa at Christmas time. And one thing we are missing, though, in our organization is you. So if you are a parent of a child here, we would love to have you participate and learn about youth assistance and come and join us and come to our board. But most importantly, I want to thank all the students who are here. But even more important, if you're a parent or a grandparent, will you raise your hand? Of a child here? Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my soul for raising such wonderful children. We are very proud of each and every one of them. Let's give them a hand. Okay?
The General Citizens Committee for the Birmingham Youth Assistance meets every second Thursday at 8 o'clock at Groves in the little building that's the administration building to the side. If you're interested in what youth assistance does, we'd love to have you come and join us and talk about the things that we can do for the kids in the community. Next, I'd like to introduce Mary Schusterbauer. She's the chief of Oakland County Youth Assistance. Birmingham is a subset of Oakland County Youth Assistance, and Mary's going to tell you a little bit about the county level of youth assistance, and she brings greetings from that organization. Mary?
Good morning. I know that there are a few talking heads on the agenda here, and we all stand between you and breakfast. So I think we're all committed to keeping it rather brief. As Dave said, I'm the chief of Oakland County Youth Assistance, and we have a youth assistance office in every school district in Oakland County. And this time of year, I'm really busy, but I'm really lucky because I get out from behind the desk, and I get to go to these kind of events in every one of our youth assistance offices. So it's a really exciting time in the year for me. So I'm just going to pretend for a minute that you folks are a focus group for me. So I want you to think about these questions, but don't answer out loud. Okay, so do you think it's a good idea to have governmental units work together? Do you think that volunteers are a powerful resource in a community? Do you think that strengthening families is a good idea? And do you think that saving taxpayers' dollars is a good idea? Okay, so I bet you formulated an answer, and I bet you it was yes, 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 and yes. I would certainly hope so. Well, that's really what youth assistance is all about. We're a collaboration around the county, so you'll hear different speakers and different things referenced about tri-sponsorship. I come from the Oakland County Circuit Court, and you're going to hear from one of our judges in just a minute. So youth assistance is a department of the court. But in every school district, we are sponsored by the school district, but also by the local municipalities. So here in Birmingham, of course, we have the Birmingham Public Schools. We have the City of Birmingham, the Village of Bingham Farms, the Village of Beverly Hills, and the Village of Franklin. So that's what we call tri-sponsorship. We put that all together, and it makes youth assistance happen. And what we believe in youth assistance is that it's worth investing in youth, it's worth investing in families, and ultimately then we are investing in making stronger communities. And I mentioned that we have volunteers. We have about 1,000 volunteers across the county that dedicate about 45,000 hours of time every single year. So today we're here to celebrate our local sponsorship. We're here to celebrate the volunteers that we have that put on these wonderful events. And then mostly we're here to celebrate the young people who are getting awards. And I'm going to end with a quote that tells us exactly why we're here to celebrate these young people. In the words of author James Agee, he says, "In every child who is born, no matter what the circumstances, and of no matter what parents, the potential of the human race is born again." So thank you for what you do, and thank you for who you are. That's it for me.
Next, I'd like to ask Judge Lisa Langton to come up and bring us greetings from Oakland County Circuit Court Family Division. She's graciously agreed to be with us here today, even though she has to leave quickly and go back to court, as she has 54 motions on the docket. Today's motion day in Oakland County. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David. Just really briefly, so I'm looking at the pictures, and when I was sitting next to Judge D'Agostino, and we said, "Look at these kids. They're like models. They're all like models." And my kids didn't win any awards either. I don't know what's going on there. But on behalf of the Oakland County Circuit Court Family Division judges, and there's 6 of us that handle all the family cases, and we handle, you know, what you would think of family division, the divorce, paternity, all those kinds. But we also handle abuse and neglect and delinquency cases. So kids whose parents are struggling, and kids who are struggling. And if you want to have some numbers, I can give you some numbers, but it's not too hopeful. So coming to a group like this gives me a great deal of hope. And I see all the young kids sitting here, and they're like, "Oh my God, what are these people talking about?" But the fact that you're being honored here today and when I talked to David, they're being honored, and I loved how they put it, for outstanding contributions in civic and community service. And so when Mary talks about our youth assistance program, and she talks about our mentors, I can tell you that throwing money at these types of issues doesn't work. Your time is what matters. When I talk to the kids on my docket, and I just put a little 10-year-old, 10 years old, in Children's Village for a very serious offense, 10 years old. And when I talk to these kids, what they say to me, it's not the new pair of Nikes that they got, or the newfangled phone, or the video games. It's that they had a friend in school that was nice to them, helped them fix their bike, or they had a mentor that showed them how to make spaghetti. All right, those are the types of things. So I'm going to put a challenge out to the young people here, Ryan and Peter and Callie and Zachary, and I happen to know Sophie's family, so congratulations to Sophie too. But I want to put a challenge out to you that it doesn't stop here today. So the outstanding work that you're doing in our community can start in your middle schools, can start in your high school, can go to college. Be a friend to that person who maybe looks like they're struggling. And those are the things that will make our community safe. Those are the things that will make our community stronger. So I appreciate the families and the mentors and the volunteers and the parents that are here today. And I congratulate all of you for all the hard work you do, but keep it going. Thank you so much for inviting me, David. And I'm sorry to leave out of here so early.
Thank you very much, Judge Langton. I'd just like to echo her comments by saying that everybody here is a very privileged individual. And I think some time ago, probably President Kennedy said, to those whom much is given, much is expected. And I'm talking not only to the kids who are beginning to learn that concept, but to the adults as well. Civic service is about giving of your time, like Judge Langton said, your talent, and your treasure. And it's an opportunity to give back, and that's one of the things that we're admiring today with the children that we've had come for this event. I'd like to quickly take note of some of the officials that are here, and I'll ask you to hold your applause till the end. Maybe if everyone that I announce could just stand up. I apologize if I miss anybody, but I've tried to get everybody that's here, and I probably have some people that are not here. Shelley Goodman-Taub is here. She's an Oakland County Commissioner. You heard her talk on behalf of the Birmingham Youth Assistants. Dr. Daniel Nerod is the Birmingham Public Schools Superintendent. The Honorable Diane DiAgostini from the 48th District Court. She's the judge. Joe Valentine, who's the City Supervisor for Birmingham. Mark Nikita is the Mayor of Birmingham. Chief Mark Clemens normally comes, but I didn't see him today, so maybe he's not here. Ellen Polker, she's the clerk from the Village of Franklin. Did I mispronounce that name? I'm sorry, Eileen. Adrienne Young, she's with the School Board of Birmingham. Rachel Gwynn is the Deputy Superintendent for Birmingham Schools. Marsha Wilkinson, I didn't see her either. Is she here? She's the Director of Communications for Birmingham Schools and a former member of Birmingham Youth Assistants. Joe Hoffman, I know he's here, Assistant Superintendent for Instruction. Ed Cady, Executive Director for Special Education. Dean Neforos, he's the Assistant Superintendent for Human Resources in the Birmingham schools. Let's give them all a hand, and I'd like to thank these dignitaries for showing up today. At this time, perhaps we could all stand, and I'll lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now I'd like to ask Christine Gannon, who is the Birmingham Youth Assistants Board member and a minister to youth and young adults at the St. James Episcopal Church in Birmingham, to give us the invocation.
And I think I can promise you that after this, you can eat. So let us pray. Creator God, we are so thankful for this day that you have given us, for its blessings, its opportunities, its challenges. You have told us what is required of us: to seek justice, to love kindness, and walk humbly with you. We are blessed to come together to celebrate and recognize the amazing gifts of the young people gathered here today. We are truly blessed to have them in this community as they share their gifts and talents, their dedication and commitment with those around them. May we appreciate and use each day that comes to us. We pray for strength and guidance for each day as it comes, for each day's duties, for each day's challenges. May we be challenged to give our best always, and may we be assured of your presence with us. Fill us with your boundless love so that we may pass it on to others, especially to those most in need of compassion and understanding. Bless this food and the hands who prepared it and the folks who will serve it. May it help to nourish us in your service. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Chris. We're going to serve breakfast now. And in about 20 minutes to 30 minutes, we'll begin the award ceremony. Again, thank you very much for coming. At this time, I'd like to introduce Ann Manning, who's been the co-chair relative to this event. She's been extremely helpful with regard to putting together the program and so forth. And because we've got so many nominees, it's hard, believe it or not, it's hard for me to talk for more than 5 nominees. So we're going to switch back and forth. Ann Manning, I'd like you to welcome her. This is the first time she's been on the stage at Youth Assistance Optimist event. Okay, and each one of us is going to read a short little synopsis of each child. We'd like you to come up, stand next to me when I call your name. Then, if you would, move over to the right with Ann, and we're going to have your picture taken. Now, I'll say it now so I don't forget at the end and so that all of you don't forget. We'd like all of you to gather at the front, on the front steps of the community house for a group picture. So, unless you really have to leave, don't leave until we can get that group pictured. I appreciate it. Okay, the first nominee from middle school is Peter Dobrowitzki. He's from Derby Middle School, and he's in 6th grade. I just had breakfast with him. Congratulations. Come on over, stand over here. Don't be shy. Peter's participated in the Derby Links program 5 days a week for the past 30 weeks. Links is a program where general education students are matched up with kids who have special needs. They take them from class to class, and oftentimes what's found to be useful is that it's better to have a peer of the same age as the child to help them along with middle school, which, as many of you probably know, can be a very scary thing. Peter thinks it's important because the kids with special needs should have fun and the people in their class with the people in their class and outside of the class. It's a great program, and it's a great example for students in our community. Even though some kids may seem different, all middle schools want to learn, have fun, and hang out with their friends. That couldn't be more true. Thank you for your service, Peter. Why don't you stand over here and I'm going to take your picture. I hope you'll forgive me if I have to read some of these. I didn't memorize all of them. The next one is Ryan Duffy. He's from Berkshire Middle School, and he's in grade 8. How are you, Brian? Brian devotes his summer vacations to assisting younger children. He volunteers at a summer camp teaching children how to sail and play tennis, 2 of my very favorite things. So that's great. I expect to see you on the tour someday. You're tall. He's attended this camp since he was 6, and he remembers how much counselors helped him when he was little. Volunteering at summer camp is important to Ryan because it allows him to reciprocate that kindness and help other children. Congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to ask Ryan Goodman, who's a 8th grader from Berkshire Middle School. Hi, Ryan. How are you? He's served the community in a number of different ways in the past year. He assisted during a summer camp at Temple Bethel, playing with the kids and helping the teacher prepare camp activities. Every month, he goes to a soup kitchen and prepares food for the less fortunate. He's also helped an elderly woman with maintaining her home garden. On his 10th birthday, and I was real impressed with this, you know, some people all want to get gifts on their birthday. Other people give other people gifts on their birthday. Ryan's one of the second. On his 10th birthday, he, instead of collecting birthday gifts, had a fundraiser and raised $2,000 for a worthy cause. That's pretty impressive. Makes Ryan feel good to help others, and when he volunteers at the soup kitchen, the people there are happy to be given food. When he donates money, it goes to helping people or researching cures for diseases. His service affects everyone in many different ways, and that couldn't be more true. Congratulations, Ryan. Next, I'd like to introduce Zach Cakeley. How are you, Zach? Good to see you. You look good. Zach serves his community by hosting leader dogs. Currently, he and his family have a leader dog that recently had puppies, and caring for them takes dedication and a lot of hard work. Zach's volunteer service will positively impact people for many years. Zach is motivated by knowing that the leader dogs make a difference by helping the blind and other handicapped people. He has a lot of fun with helping others. I think it would be a great time to work with a leader dog. Congratulations. Aria Mingo from Birmingham Covington School. She's in grade 8. Congratulations. Come on up here. Aria serves as her church's Christian Fellowship of Love in a variety of ways. Every Saturday morning, she helps package food for the homeless and others in need. She has assisted in taking food to a shelter on Saturdays and setting up a buffet line in order to feed the homeless. She's also helped to provide clothing for the homeless. Something that's always been near and dear to my heart is I feel very badly for people that don't have a place to lay their head and have to sleep out in the street. And believe me, there's a lot of people like that, even in Oakland County. Aria believes that her contributions make a difference, and she hopes that she's influencing others to give back as well. She says, quote, "If I can make a difference, so can everyone else." Her service is made more enjoyable because her friends are also at the church helping. Aria feels that, quote, "If more people had fun while helping others, they would be more productive as a whole." Thank you very much, Aria. Congratulations. Now over here. Go over to the corner so you can take the picture. Okay, that's as much as I can talk for the moment. I'm going to ask Ann Manning to come up and do the next 5 honorees.
Good morning. Addison Mitchell is in the seventh grade at Derby Middle School. She volunteers 5 days a week with a couple of different students in the Derby Links program, engaging them to interact during their lunch and rec time. Addison also wrote a full-page article for the Derby newspaper to help build more awareness for the Links program. She was drawn to this program because her oldest brother, Austin, has autism spectrum disorder. And she feels that the children in Links have a lot to teach us all because they find joy in everything they do. Congratulations. Callie Ostrowski is in the 8th grade at Berkshire Middle School. She has tutored elementary school students on several Saturdays and also has helped at church by assembling care packages for the underprivileged. Callie is most proud of volunteering several days a week, helping her elderly neighbor who has health challenges and needs assistance with daily household chores. Callie thinks it's everyone's responsibility to pay it forward because one day we all may need help. Congratulations, Callie. Jonah Rivkin. Jonah is in the 8th grade at Birmingham Covington School. He helps out at a JARC home, giving companionship to special needs adults and their families. Jonah also supports the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation by helping with their fund runs. He works with Jewish Family Services, helping to pack food and candy into boxes that are delivered to families during the holidays. He has been very involved since 7th grade at Temple Shir Shalom, teaching children the Hebrew alphabet during Sunday school. Jonah says his greatest challenge is finding all the time to help those in need. Congratulations. Raquel Rosenfeld. Raquel is in the 7th grade at Berkshire Middle School. She volunteers weekly at a senior citizen living facility, spending time with people who typically don't get visitors. Raquel also has donated food to a homeless shelter. She is most proud of serving her community by volunteering at a Detroit urban garden that was created to give underprivileged people access to fresh fruits and vegetables. Raquel hopes that other people will follow her example by volunteering. Congratulations. Andrew Scalaro is in the 6th grade at Derby Middle School. Oh, Aaron Scalaro. He volunteers in the Derby Links program 5 days a week, helping students with social deficits to improve their age-appropriate interactions. In addition to volunteering 5 hours a week, he will also begin to help in Derby's autism classrooms by assisting the staff and working directly with the students. Aaron feels that his contributions will make a difference in people's lives by making them feel that they always have friends. He says, "I just want to help all that I can and make the world a better and kinder place." Congratulations. Faith. Faith Whitted is in the 6th grade at Berkshire Middle School. She has volunteered as a Baldwin Public Library booster and has read to therapy dogs there. During the summer, Faith helps animals by volunteering at Premier Pet Supply. She also has assisted during Oakland County's Special Olympics by timing events and passing out refreshments. Serving others makes Grace feel grateful for everything she has. Congratulations. Faith.
I'm back. I'm back. Well, I think that's all the middle school kids. Can we have the high school kids come up and do the same thing? Line up in the order that you're named in the program, which should be pretty close to alphabetical. First person I'd like to call forward is Brett Anger from Groves High School. He's in the 12th grade. Congratulations, Brett. Cheers, your call too. Something about getting older and all these kids are getting bigger. I don't know what the deal is. Brett has consistently demonstrated leadership and commitment through his service at Birmingham United Methodist Church. He's played a leadership role in the Feed ministry to raise awareness and funds to support orphan children in Zimbabwe. He and his peers have raised $4,000 to support 10 orphan children at the Fairfield Orphanage in Zimbabwe. He's taken a leading role in a Super Bowl sub sandwich sale that raised another $3,000. Brett spent a week last summer working on a home in West Virginia on a high school mission trip. I got to say, it often amazes me, back when I was in high school, if I could get to football practice, take a nap, and get home and think about doing homework. I don't know where the kids find the time to do all these things, but it's great that they do. I'm very impressed. He's motivated by his desire to improve the lives of others. He says, quote, "I have seen how even small acts of kindness can make another's life much easier and can lift their spirits and hopefully make them want to help someone else too." Congratulations, Brett. The next honoree is Isabella Anton from Marion High School, grade 12. Congratulations. Isabella has been a first-grade catechist at St. Regis for 2 years. She's the president of Marion High School's chapter of Students Against Destructive Decisions, which educates her peers on issues that affect youth in the community, such as drunk driving and cyberbullying. Isabella has participated in 2 mission trips to Guatemala City. Her team there worked to improve schools by repairing benches and mixing concrete, and painting. She's recently elected to the fundraising coordinator of the International Samaritan Club at Marion High School. Isabella says, quote, "My volunteer work with children, both in the community and outside of the country, will have a lasting effect on the children I've worked with. Thank you very much for your service, Isabella." Congratulations. Next, I'd like Jackson Bergstrom to come up. Jackson is a Seaholm High School 9th grader. He's committed to helping people of Burkina Faso in West Africa. In Burkina, women rarely have the opportunity to attend school, and Jackson's efforts provide an opportunity for that to happen. And this is very interesting. I've never heard anything like this, but I think it's a great idea. He founded an organization called LOL, which doesn't stand for Laugh Out Loud. It stands for Lambs of Love. They raise awareness and funds with partners with a nonprofit, who are nonprofit based in Burkina. If a young girl wants to attend school, her family is given a baby lamb. After caring for the lamb for a year, the family sells it at a local market, and the proceeds pay for the daughter's tuition, books, uniform, and an oil lamp, and another lamb that will pay the following year's educational expenses. The initial investment is $100 per child, and that pays for a full 13 years of formal education, which is unbelievable, but a great idea. I mean, I'm really impressed with the creativity of that idea. Jackson's an Eagle Scout, which I'm also very impressed with. He's earned the Presidential Gold Medal for volunteerism, and he'll be honored at the White House in July for outstanding youth leadership. Congratulations, Jackson. That was an Eagle Scout too. Our next honoree is Leora Bernard, but unfortunately, I believe she had to go to school, and she's not here today. I'll just tell you a little bit about her. She likes to serve others who have learning challenges. She's prepared food for Meals on Wheels, which is something I'd like to have someday. She goes to an inner-city elementary school and plays reading games with the children. She feels that one knows their value. When one knows their value, they gain confidence and self-awareness that can fill their heart with strength and provide a lens for their soul to find what inspires them. Unfortunately, Leora is not with us today, but I'd like you to give her a round of applause. Next is James Cheney. He's a 11th grader from Seaholm High School. Congratulations. He's a dedicated volunteer at the Quarton Elementary School, helping students prepare for this year's math pentathlon, Mathletes. He also has volunteered at a nonprofit preschool for at-risk children whose families fall below the poverty line. He believes it's important for the kids to be able to talk to a young adult and have them available to answer questions. I'd like to point out that Birmingham Youth Assistance has a Mentor Plus program where adults are matched with children, and I would think that James would be a prospect for that someday. She says, "I love working with kids. They bring me a lot of joy, and it's very rewarding to see the positive effect you can have on a child." And at this point, I'd like to, congratulations, tell you that. And I'd like to ask Ann Manning back to read the next 5 honorees.
Ariana Dadabo is a senior at Marion High School. Since the 8th grade, she has supported Christ Child House, which is a residential treatment center for boys who were the victims of abuse and neglect. Ariana also has been a leader in planning the annual Super Bowl event held by Marion and Brother Rice to raise funds for the St. Leo and Capuchin soup kitchens. While on 2 service trips to Nicaragua, she served a school by building walls for a classroom, teaching English to the children, and bringing them 350 dental care kits. She went around to local dentists, collected donations of supplies, and assembled these kits. She was inspired by a young boy she met in Nicaragua who had already lost a number of teeth to tooth decay and wanted to do something about that. To Ariana, the most remarkable part of these trips was bonding with the children. Congratulations, Ariana.
Let's get this down for you a little bit.
Yes, thank you. Alexander Denna is a junior at Brother Rice High School. He was one of 12 Brother Rice students who took part in a 10-day summer mission trip to Peru. While there, Alex helped to build a simple home for a Peruvian family. He also visited orphaned and handicapped children at an orphanage on the outskirts of Lima. Alex hopes that his volunteer work will inspire others to serve their communities. He believes that the good you inspire in others is the greatest gift you can give in this life. Congratulations, Alexander. Ariana Farina is a senior at the Academy of the Sacred Heart. She serves as a leader for the Academy's Focus Hope project, which is a monthly day of service packing and delivering food for needy senior citizens in Detroit. Ariana helps to organize the monthly service days, and she recruits other students to participate in this project. She also serves as the secretary of the Youth Action Board of the Birmingham Bloomfield Community Coalition. This group of teenagers organizes substance-free events and does the important job of educating their peers on the dangers of drinking and drugs. For Ariana, the most rewarding part of the Focus Hope project is personally delivering the food because it enables her to see directly the impact she's having on the lives of these underprivileged senior citizens. Congratulations, Ariana. Robert Jevaharian is a senior at Brother Rice High School. Robert has served on the Mexico mission team for First Presbyterian Church for 2 years. The team has been working on the Yucatan Peninsula to build a school for students in the poverty-stricken town of Leona Vicario. Robert was always willing to do the hardest work on the construction site, and he was very caring in his work with children in a neighboring village. In addition, Robert led the construction of a handicapped access dock at Camp Skyline. He recruited 25 volunteers, not an easy task, and collectively they worked more than 400 hours to build this dock, and not a single person got wet. A special part of Robert's volunteer service has been working alongside his brothers and father in giving back to their community. Robert has the honor of being an Eagle Scout, the highest rank available in Boy Scouts, and well-deserved for his hard work and leadership. Congratulations, Robert. Macallan Kizzy is a junior at Brother Rice High School. He and 7 other students spent a week at a summer day camp in Bonita Springs, Florida, working with the children of migrant Hispanic agricultural workers. Each day, Macallan spent the morning hours tutoring children aged 7 through 13, and he dedicated the afternoons to fun off-site activities with the kids, like going to a beach or a park. Macallan and the other students enabled the parents to earn an income, spending the day working in the fields without having to pay for expensive childcare. McAllen sees his service as giving back because another community helped him in his time of need. Congratulations, McAllen. I'll hand over to David.
My turn? To my right, we should have Jacqueline Krasanik, correct? Yes. She's at the Academy of Sacred Heart, and she's in grade 12. Congratulations. Jacqueline is a very active member of the Youth Action Board of the Birmingham Bloomfield Community Coalition. This is a group of teenagers who create substance-free activities to educate their peers on the dangers of drinking and drugs. She also recruits friends to join her in this endeavor. Her commitment to community service was motivated by a trip to Haiti, during which she met people who were affected by the earthquake in 2010. As a result, she began sewing clothes for the children through the Dresses of Haiti program, and she has struggled for years with a chronic illness, which is so severe that she was required to be homeschooled in the 8th grade because her health prevented her from going to school. Jacqueline has dealt with this illness, and despite that, she's gone through high school, managing not only to graduate on time, but also to serve her community. Let's have a round of applause for Jacqueline. Congratulations. Next is Gabriel Kershot. Did I pronounce it right? Gabrielle. I'm sorry, Gabrielle Kershot. That's the one I was worried about. She's from Seaholm High School, and she's in grade 12. Gabby, I should have tried that initially, is an essential part of the extensive full inclusion ministry at the First Presbyterian Church in Birmingham. She's in a program that serves persons with intellectual and cognitive disabilities. Since she's been a young child, she's been an integral factor in the success and growth of this ministry. Her skill in finding creative and imaginative ways of engaging those who have difficulty interacting allows them to be part of the group on both a social and educational level. Gabrielle also has volunteered with Cool to Care, Habitat for Humanity, the Animal Welfare Club, and the National Organization for Women and Seaholm Girls Speak Up. Her motivation is to make everyone feel valued and important. She focuses on other people's needs, and this is a way of telling them that they are, in fact, important. Quote, "Community service is the way I show the people around me that I care about them." Well, we're glad to have you in the community, Gabby. Congratulations. Next is Erin Moore. She's from Marion High School, and she's in grade 12. Congratulations. She began her service work at Holy Name Church, where she taught catechism to first graders. She served in a pregnancy care center, mother and unborn baby care by organizing several donation drives at Marion, and then spending a summer at the center sorting donations and preparing care packages. She has been part of a youth conference called Building Bridges to a Culture of Life. She participated in 2 service trips to Guatemala to serve an impoverished community, and she worked on many small construction projects and assisted teachers and children in the local school. Erin says, quote, "I truly feel joyful when I know someone's life has been benefited because I was able to serve them as I was called to do." Congratulations, Erin. Sydney Pickell is from Seaholm High School. She's in grade 9. Congratulations. Nice to see you. She started a company called Bogey Designs in 2015, where she designed, created, and sold clothes, with the proceeds going to Mrs. Mullen's Closet. This charity, which is centered in Benzie County, Michigan, helps people and families who have suffered loss or trauma or who are experiencing hardships to get them back on their feet. To date, Sydney has donated $2,000 to the organization. Again, very impressive. She knew she had to do something to help when she learned just how many students are helped by Miss Mullen's Closet. quote, there are fundraisers for this charity, but what really is needed is a consistent source of income, and that is where my business of selling apparel and home goods comes in. I'm able to provide income for Mrs. Mullins Closet before, during, and after fundraisers. I think we have a budding entrepreneur as well as a civic-minded individual. Congratulations, Sydney. The next individual is Chelsea Schaufer, but she also was not able to make it this morning. She's a Seaholm High School person who is in the 10th grade. And just a couple points. She's been helping to rescue pets since she was 10 years old. She's personally fostered 68 dogs. Very impressive. She's now starting her own foster-based rescue, Motor City Mutts Rescue. Let's have a round of applause in absentia for Chelsea Schaufer.
Kurt Schneider is a junior at Brother Rice High School. He's one of 5 students who spent a week at Catholic Charities Relief Station in Brownsville, Texas, working with newly arrived Hispanic immigrant families. Kurt assisted families who were awaiting temporary sanctuary following their long and arduous journey to reach the American border. He welcomed the families and greeted them with clothing, toiletries, a hot meal, a shower, and a cot for the night before they departed on a bus trip to their U.S. destinations, a warm welcome that I'm sure they appreciated. Kurt also has worked for 4 summers as a counselor at a SCAMP camp in Bloomfield Hills, working with special needs campers. Congratulations, Kurt. Logan Scott is a senior at Groves High School. He designed and built 4 little free libraries. These are take a book, leave a book exchange sites. 3 of them will be located in Pontiac, but Logan planted his first little library near an Angels Place residence that provides a lifelong home for people with developmental disabilities. Logan was inspired to select this location by his older brother, who has disabilities himself. Logan also has volunteered at First Presbyterian Church's Vacation Bible Camp every summer since middle school as an inclusion buddy for a child with disabilities. Congratulations, Logan. Grace Sletter is a senior at Groves High School. Did I pronounce that right? She's part of the youth leadership team at First Presbyterian Church, Birmingham, and also has been ordained as an elder, which is a position that's traditionally reserved for adults. During church services, Grace works as a buddy, aiding children with special needs through the All Abilities Inclusion Ministry. At school, she's the president of the Groves Student Congress. Grace planned events for the February charity fundraising week at Groves, which raised more than $31,000 for Make-A-Wish, Michigan. That's the largest amount donated by any single organization this year. Grace recently received the Good Citizen Award from the Daughters of the American Revolution for her civic community work. Grace has grown up with many advantages, and she wants to support those who haven't had the same opportunities she has. Congratulations, Grace. Wendy Wilkinson is a senior at Seaholm High School. She is a key member and leader of Birmingham First Presbyterian Church's youth ministry. Wendy has volunteered for planning committees throughout high school, served on the leadership team for the past 2 years, and has often volunteered to lead in worship services. Wendy wants people to know that teenagers do care for others, and they are working just as hard as adults to make the world a better place. Congratulations, Wendy. Today, it has been our honor and pleasure to recognize the selfless commitment these young people are making to their communities. Selecting a single nominee to receive special recognition and a scholarship was a very difficult process. We wanted to do that for everyone. The awarding question honors the memory of a remarkable woman by the name of Jane Parker Ward. Here to tell us about Jane is Dan DeBoer, a Birmingham optimist and a former chair of Birmingham Youth Assistance. Following Dan's remarks, Dr. Russell Faust will speak about the truly impressive charitable work done by our winner, Ms. Sophia Kapoor.
This is a real pleasure to be here. Thank you to all the volunteers that helped make this event go through. David, thanks for your great job. All the honorees, I want to say thanks. You're going to be addicted to this. The rest of your lives, you'll be called on to volunteer, and I know you'll all step forward. So we're training good leaders. Jane Parker Ward Award. So the honoree will have the task of always explaining and pronouncing Jane Parker Ward Award. It's kind of a tongue twister. But to know Jane Parker is one of my great experiences. When I first started with Birmingham Youth Assistance, it was my first job. I was right out of college, and I was greeted by Jane Ward, who was just retired from teaching. She worked at Barnum Library, and she inspired many people throughout her life. To get an essence of who Jane Parker Ward was, I talked to some of our Optimist members over the years about Jane. And yesterday I talked to Ed Pugh, one of our members. And if you know teachers, one of the things teachers like, my wife's a teacher, was a teacher at Seaholm, and now a substitute at Seaholm, is sometimes it's the kids in the classroom that are, she calls them rascals. I think it's a British term or something. But rascals are the ones that give you a little challenge, spice up the classroom, and make teaching fun. And Ed Pugh, one of our members, I think would qualify when he was in high school. And I said, what was different about Jane Ward? She said, well, she gave other kids assignments like when they're doing research, France or England or Spain. She gave me Ethiopia. Where do you find stuff in the library about Ethiopia? But Ed rose to the challenge and still spends his life as an attorney doing the kind of research he needs to do, and another great person. But Jane also was tenacious. She was strong. And the other thing about her, I was starting my career, and she was ending her career. I was 6'4", she was about 4'6". But she was powerful. And one of the things we did was we kicked off and wanted to expand the scholarship for summer camp. And we ran into some resistance from some of the principals at the time. Things like, oh, our school doesn't have anybody with any needs. And Jane would look up at him and say, you know there's kids in here that are having problems. And I stayed in touch with one of these kids that got a scholarship, who said after the first year at camp, he said, this is different because at home, in my dad's house, I have dad's rules. When I go to my mom's house, I have mom's rules. At camp, I just have camp rules. And it's a nice vacation for me. That child went on to get references to college, admitted to Michigan by references from the camp, worked at the camp, volunteered at the camp, became a camp assistant director, and changed his life because this one kid was identified that needed some extra help or a little vacation from all the rules at home. That's the kind of person Jane Ward was. She also, 38 years ago, came to our committee and said, we need to do a dog show. And I said, a dog show? This is about kids. She said, kids relate to others through their dogs. And this year was the 37th year of that successful dog show. Premier Pets was one of our first sponsors. I heard that name today. And it just was tremendous. That's the kinds of stuff Jane pulled off. We also had only 3 members at our first meeting. And she rebuilt the whole committee. She got key leaders in the community, director of special needs, certain leaders that just enhanced the size of the group and the kind of projects we wanted to put on in the future. So thank you, Jane Ward. And for the honoree, you can keep saying, I won the Jane Parker Ward Award, so that's phenomenal. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dan. One of the most difficult things that we have with regard to this event is picking one student out of this group of stars to award the Jane Parker Ward Award to. That award carries a special certificate as well as a $500 scholarship. I'm going to ask Russell Faust, who's the nominator of this year's award winner, Sophia Kapoor, to come up and say a few words about Sophia.
Good morning. You know, it occurs to me that we are all blessed to have our future leaders exhibit the qualities that we've seen here today. You know, it isn't every day that one discovers that the perky teenager who is tutoring your kids in French just happens to be the founder and CEO of a 501c3 not-for-profit that also happens to be building an orphanage and school in India for needy girls. Now, when Sophia traveled to India, she learned of the horrifying fate of orphaned girls in that country and promised to make a difference, to do something about it. When she returned to the United States, she founded IamNotAstatistic.us and founded her not-for-profit foundation and raised enough funds to build that orphanage and school for girls in India, which opens this summer. I'll just summarize by saying that she models the qualities that we've seen here today. You know, I'd say many people in this room know what it takes to build a corporation. Those that know what it takes to build a 501c3, the extra hoops that need to be jumped through, the extra burdens and details that need to be attended to, those that have done it, many, or attempted it, often give up, just, you know, say, that's too much. For Sophia, that was just a necessary step to achieve her goals. It was no big deal. She models those qualities that we all most aspire to, and for her it's no big deal. So with great humility, I present Sophia Kapoor.
I'd like Ann Manning, the co-chair, to come up, please. Sophia, I'd like to present you with a plaque which states the annual Jane Parker Ward Memorial Award for Outstanding Community Service and Leadership, April 26, 2017, and a check for $500 for scholarship. Very good job. Congratulations. I'd like to mention that the certificates that the kids are getting today were provided by a variety of sources. The Oakland County Commissioners, Oakland County Sheriff's Office, U.S. Senators Gary Peters and Debbie Stabenow, U.S. Representatives Sandra Levin and David Trott, State Representatives Mike McCready and Marty Nolenberg, and I forgot to mention Mike Nolenberg's assistant who is here, and I believe the correct pronunciation is Shimatero. Is that correct? Mr. Shimatero. Thanks for coming, and thanks for representing Representative Nolenberg. I'd like to thank both the BYA and the Optimus members for the support and sponsorship. I'd also like to tell you about a number of people who, without their help, this event would never occur. First and foremost is Steve Kapp, who is the office manager for Birmingham Youth Assistance. This is his first Youth Assistance breakfast event, and he's done an outstanding job. The fact that you all have your programs on the table, and everybody's got breakfast, and all the letters have gone out, and all the dignitaries have been contacted, are all because of Steve. And Steve's done a great job with regard to pulling all that stuff together, because I couldn't do it, and I couldn't do it without him. So let's have a round of applause for Steve Kapp. He's the office manager for Birmingham Youth Assistance. We're also very lucky at Youth Assistance to have our own dedicated social worker. His name is Mike Caminiti. He's over here on my right. He's responsible for implementing the ideals of Birmingham Youth Assistance on behalf of the children that we serve. He carries an actual caseload where he actually has contact with kids that are referred to Birmingham Youth Assistance by various entities, teachers, parents, sometimes the police, and he works with them to be sure that even though they haven't significantly impacted the criminal justice system, we want to get them off of that road. He counsels the kids and he supports them when they're referred for our services. As I indicated before, Mark Clemens, we're appreciative of him because he won't give any of you tickets. He's the chief of police for Birmingham. Unfortunately, I don't think he's here today. I'd like to also thank all of our municipal sponsors who donate money to Birmingham Youth Assistance and the Optimus as well. Oakland County Circuit Court, which is the sponsor ultimately of Birmingham Youth Assistance, as you heard from Mary Schusterbauer. Birmingham Public Schools for the city of Birmingham, the village of Beverly Hills, the village of Bingham Farms, the village of Franklin, the Oakland County Commissioners, all of the members of the Birmingham Optimus who so generously have given of their time and their money to this event, as well as the board members of the General Citizens Committee for Youth Assistance. We have sponsors, many sponsors from both organizations. And finally, I'd like to thank the Community House. Once again, and we have many events here, they've done a fantastic job, and let's just have a round of applause for the staff at the Community House. Once again, I appreciate all of you coming. If you think that what we're doing here has any value, then we would, and I'm talking to the parents now, we would love to have you come and join us in helping the kids of the community. As I indicated before, the Birmingham Optimus meet every Wednesday at 7:30 here in the Community House. You'll have a great breakfast put on by the Community House, and you'll be out by 8:30. We talk about various things that are going on in the community and events that we have coming up. I also mentioned that the Birmingham Optimus next week have the hearing impaired speech oratorical contest. That's a great event. That started out with 4 kids, and now it's grown to somewhere in the neighborhood of 20, 25 kids. The General Citizens Committee for Birmingham Youth Assistance meets at Groves High School in the administration building that's off to the side every second Thursday at 8 o'clock. We'd love to have you come and join us for that and try to help us with our mission, which is to improve life in this community and give kids the opportunity to participate in civic affairs. Finally, I'd like to thank our co-chair, Ann Manning, who has really jumped into the situation feet first and done a great job. She's responsible for the program that you see in front of you. Now, last but not least, don't forget to gather out front for a group picture. And finally, let's have a round of applause for all of the nominees, all of the honorees. Thank you very much.